Hey folks, it's Ben. We're here with our Knock Knock Who's There 1992 Pontiac Transport. Like I said, just under 500,000 K. We run into an issue Friday coming home from work. Actually, it started Thursday and really set itself Friday. We've lost our blower motor. So we visited a junkyard. We were able to actually score a blower motor and the resistor set out of a 1990 Transport or a Lumina APV that had, I don't know, less miles than this one. Let's go with that. But here's our diagnosis. We turned it on. We got our beeping, and let's say we go to vent. Right now we actually have full fan, and we have speed selection. But there it stopped and will not start, no matter what speed we pick. So it's probably just the fan gone wrong, but we got that anyway. So let's go ahead and replace it. There's 3 7mm bolts we need to remove. I know, that's a lot. Now, if this were a 3.8 van, well, access is easy, but it's not. This is my other van. This is our motor. It's a 3.1 liter throttle body. So now we lean in and like, oh, it's kind of in there, isn't it? It is. So what we need to do is remove the air intake, and that creates a clear path. But that being said, the junkyard, I just ripped those things off. I don't actually, take care or pride. So I'll have to do that with this one so we don't break anything. So with that removed, we've got a lot more space now. So how do you get this off? It's fairly easy. You have this guy here, which you just pull the pin off that's inside usually, and it slides out, you slide it back in, so you don't even have to disconnect it like I had. The connection for the vacuum, for the little heat transfer thing, connects here where it says connect. Makes sense. And then what I broke, because why wouldn't you, is there is a hose that goes your PVC from the valve cover up to the intake. Of course, I broke it here, so fun. I'll have to tape that up somehow or heat shrink it, I'm thinking. And of course, when it came out, it also broke a couple pieces into the valve cover. So I got that going for me. There's so little oil flow in there, I'm not gonna worry about that. But that's a thing down the road when we don't do anything with this van, we can also not do that. So, and the other thing is you have to take the little stem out that holds the air cover on, because that will get in the way. But now if you look at the blower motor right there, we have the 1, 2, 3, yeah, there are about 4 7mm screws we've got to take out. Just be careful taking these out that you don't drop them. In the junkyard, you don't care, but at home you do. So we'll need to get all 7 of those back, or all those back. So best to unplug it, then take the screws out. For the top screw, where you see the wiper arms kind of in the way, what I just do is I go in with a long extension kit. See how sloppy it is? Yeah, it gets you enough arc that you actually miss the arm, but you hit the bolt. So that's easy peasy. Then you should be able to just come in and grab it. And then you realize, oh, there's 5 bolts, not 4, and we'll get the 5th one. With the 5th bolt out, it will wiggle. Oh, and you still have your tube here that is connected. I should probably look on the motor to see the one I have, which one's easier to pull out, the one off the cab or the one off the motor. I'm not sure if that's ripped or not, but I guess we'll pull the one out of the cab. So give that a wiggle. This is rubber is all so stiff. We might need a screwdriver to assist us with that one, because it is just in there, man. Oh, there we go. It came out both ends. So that's that. And with some wiggling, and I might need to use 2 hands here, we should be able to miss all our wires and get that thing out. Now, I don't remember the combination of turns I had to get this out, because it's got the flat point there. So to miss the wiper arms, and you got to turn around to miss the throttle cable, and then yeah, so it's a match to get it out. But this guy, the motor is actually, it's probably the motor. It does still turn, but it has no spin. So it's obviously struggling to turn. So this could be a bearing issue, which we could probably repair. So we won't throw it away because we're hoarding. And but this is the motor out. Now we got to put the new motor in. I also got to go through my parts. I might have another one of these tubes. See if the previous owner was nice enough to save me one. So I have a $30 endoscope that I like to look down cylinders blowers for and stuff. It's also convenient for stuff like this, so we can kind of look through the hole that's over there and see our resistor pack, and it looks actually fairly clean. In fact, better shape than the one I have now, outside of the corrosion that's right there. So I'm not going to pull that. I'm going to leave that for now, and we'll see how it tests, but seems like it's okay. And then I'm also in here, there's lots of rust on that case, which is not surprising, right? So I can see the back side of my heater core, and it's hard to see on camera through camera, but there's a little bit of debris there, and my wife says it smells a little bit like coolant when I run the heater, and so that was verbal denial. And now that I see that there's a little bit of wetness underneath the heater core, we also have visual denial. We're just going to go ahead and pretend like we didn't see that, but eventually we're going to have to do a heater core if we it's going to make another winter. So there you go with that. So now we have assembly. So like 20 minutes later, this sucks. I got it in there, but I had to undo a lot to get there. It comes out so easy, but my poor throttle cable, was taking one for the team. It's already not in great shape, it appears. So I might look at getting that replaced. But yeah, I had to take some of the coil stuff off because that wasn't in the way. And I tried rotating the wipers around. And this is in the wrong order, I guess, because that needs to be on top of that. So anyway, yeah, it just not a good time. Between the wiper arms and the coil and the throttle and the, yeah, it was just, I got to figure that out. Anyway, so yeah, but it will go in. If it comes out, it's got to go in. I got it plugged in. I got to cinch the bolts down there, the 5 little screws there. Reassemble my way out. Oh, and I can't forget this. Taking the tube off both holes was a good call. Because it's just a bear. So I got to put this on. I got one end lubricated a little bit. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Double check my throttle still works. That's working. Okay, cool. Let's turn it on and go to vent. Something clicked. I got nothing. Okay. And it goes dim. Something went poof. Okay, take 2. I wiggle the wires around and plug the coil back in. Okay. Hey, it's loud. It's got 4 speeds. And it's staying on. And off. Will it restart? It will. So we'll call this success. We'll see how well it works in the freezing cold. Perfect. Of course, it's defaulting to defrost there. So there you go. That part works. So I repaired my pipe. If you remove this side, you won't have this issue. Okay, so mental note. I will replace it in the spring when I can get to my parts cards with an actual part that will work. But for now, what I did is I repaired this one by using some electrical tape around the actual brake, cleaned it up, electrical tape. But it doesn't stick great in the cold, so I went ahead and heated it so it does stick good. And then I took the one thing that does work good in the cold, which of course is hockey tape, and redid the rest. So this should get me by for a couple months till I get either an elbow or a hose or something in here. And like I said, we'll pretend we didn't see that. And we'll see how our idle is come morning if we have to come back and address that. So we'll stick this back in the valve cover and put everything else back in. Okay, so my fixed pipe looks brand new. You hardly know. I'm going to forget that I did that, and then I'll never fix it till it fails on me. If it works, whatever. Put this in again. So like I say, just slide that little guy out and slide it back in while it's in there. Plug that in. I didn't need to unplug it. Connect. I get it now. It didn't want to go in there either. And I got my connection pipe between my exhaust manifold and my warm air inlet. And then I put the little center post back in because it's a pain in the butt. And I can put my cover back on and mess around with this for, ooh, I got it. And then I'll put my nut on, and that should be it. The guy back there should be good. Seems like the little resistor think pack is okay, so I don't have to worry about that. I know on some cars I've had it fail and not the blower, but you typically lose speeds when it dies. versus losing all of it. And double check for parts, and we have the hose from the old one and the rag from my bleeding. Okay, so there you have it. If you have any questions on the blower motor replacement, don't waste your time, buy a new one. They're not that expensive, honestly. I was just at a picket yard. It's like, well, let me grab one, and I did, and obviously it works, so that's great. But I don't think they're that expensive. Probably could have put a new one in there and never worried about it again. Where this one, hey, it could go a week, could go a year, could go the life of the van, who knows. So anyway, please subscribe to my channel, Turbo 231, for more exciting videos about vans. Yeah, absolutely vans. I got that one, I got that one, I got that one in the snow over there. Yeah, we're just rocking it. So yeah, there you go. I gotta sand these headlights too, if they are. They're glass. No, that's plastic. See the van, was it glass or was it just broken plastic? I'm talking to myself. Anyway, you guys have a good day.